Yes, please. Now let me take the fifth part. So, with the fifth part, the position of the planets. The position of planets. This is the fifth point here. The position of planets in a birth horoscope. In a birth horoscope of a native has, okay, planets have three kinds of basic qualities, and those basic qualities, which quality of that planet is influential or is more powerful in your horoscope, in one's horoscope, that we have to know what. Okay, native have three basic, okay, qualities. The three basic qualities or influences upon a native. What are the three basic qualities or influences upon or influence upon a native? So three are basic. First is Brahma type. Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Brahma means, in this case, generative power. Okay, Brahma here in Hindi or in Sanskrit, they are known as Brahma means the Lord Generator, the quality of God, which is generative quality. Similarly, the planets are having three qualities: either Brahma quality, Brahma means generative quality, and the second is observatory or Vishnu type, Vaishnav type of quality. Lord Vishnu represents the observation of a native person or native, right? Observatory quality of God. Then third is destroyer quality. So every planet is having these three basic qualities. Brahma means generative quality, right? That means right here. Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar, Mahesh, that known as Mahesh. What are these three qualities? Okay, so every planet, the position of planets in a birth horoscope of a native have three basic qualities or influence upon a native: Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. What does it mean? Here Brahma means, let me write here. Brahma means generative qualities or generator. This is Brahma means generator. Generative quality of planet is very generative. In a horoscope of a person, a planet is having generative quality. It means it is creating something in a person, native, giving something to a native, right? So generative quality, generator, okay, or creative. Let me take here creative. Creator or creative. This is generator. Brahma means generator or creative quality. Generative quality or creative qualities. So every planet may have the three kind of quality. In your horoscope or in a native's horoscope, which quality is more powerful? That one has to understand, right? Second quality is Vishnu. Vishnu. We say Lord Vishnu is observatory quality. Observatory or prosperous quality. Right? Prosperous. Observatory. Vishnu is what you call caretaker. Caretaking quality. Prosperous quality or caretaking quality. Prosperous or caretaking quality. Caretaking qualities. This is your second quality. And third is the planet can be destroyed also. Mahesh or Lord Shankar, Vishnu, sorry, Mahesh and what I've written down here. This is Mahesh here. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Right? This Mahesh means Shankar. Lord Shankar or destroyer or destroying quality. This is destroyer or destructive quality. we say destructive quality. Destructive quality. So this planet can have these three kind of qualities. Destructive qualities. So in your horoscope, that particular planet is having which kind of quality is more powerful. That one has to understand. This is known as the strength of planets in your horoscope. So birth horoscope is having which quality more powerful. Okay, this only can studies in Vedic astrology. So Vedic astrology gives this kind of property of planets in your horoscope that can be understood easily with the help of some study. We will talk about them later. Okay, so in the next lecture series, I'll talk about all these qualities, how a planet is having this kind of quality in a person's horoscope. So these three kind of qualities are basic quality of every planet. And one planet, for example, Saturn can be very destructive in a particular native's horoscope, but in another one it is very generative type. It is very creative. It is very observatory, means caretaker, right? So Saturn is not always wrong in every horoscope. It is having very positive qualities also, creative or generative qualities or caretaking qualities, right? Caretaking qualities, Vishnu type of qualities. Vishnu. Brahma means creator. Alright, so just like God, God, God means G for generator, O for observer, and D for destroyer. Right? That means God is having these three qualities, which is taken, I think, from Vedas. This is Vedic, knowledge, which is just created in case of the word God. God is generator, observer, and destroyer. God is Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh quality. These three qualities, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Every planet is also having these three qualities. So, but in your horoscope, which quality is more powerful, which quality is less given, that we have to understand. That an astrologer, a true astrologer, can understand that what quality is more powerful in your horoscope of a particular planet, and according to that quality, that is strength of the planet in your horoscope, one can understand, one can predict easily. That is how these three qualities, the position of planets in the birth horoscopes of a native, have three basic qualities or influence upon a native: Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Mahesh means Shankar or destroyer, Lord Shiva, okay, Shiva, Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma. Brahma means creator. This is Brahma, B-R-A, Brahma, right? So Brahma or Brahma, right? Brahma quality, generator quality or creative quality. So this is the fifth point required for birth horoscope of a person. Now let us talk about sixth point here. Let me take here the sixth required point in Vedic astrology. What we have to know about. Then sixth, let me take that what the position in Western astrology. People discuss about heliocentric things, right? Or sun as a center they take, and after that they study. But my dear friend, mostly the ancestors, Indian ancestors or our ancestors, the rishis have taken Earth has the geocentric qualities. Geocentric means because we are living on the Earth, we are influenced on the Earth by different planets. Even the sun is influencing us. What kind of influence the sun is having upon the natives on the Earth? So this is how the sixth quality that we talk about. Sixth is geocentric and heliocentric. This is geocentric. Geocentric influence, and heliocentric, okay, or solar system, or this is heliocentric. Heliocentric. Helio means sun. Taking sun as the center, and geocentric influence and heliocentric influence. Okay, influence. Okay, so heliocentric, there are two positions of every planet, nearby Earth or nearby Sun. Okay, this is known as perihelio, right, or aphelion, perihelion. This is perihelion, aphelion. aphelion, perihelion, right? And here geocentric, yeah, this is, let me write, geocentric, I'm talking about geocentric. So heliocentric, so peri and epi. Now this is aphelion, perihelion we have taken, perigee, epigee. Here we are taking perigee and epigee, two positions of the planets. What is perigee? G means earth, peri means around, nearby earth. When planets are near the earth, what is the influence upon the earth? When the position of the planet is nearby earth, then what is the influence of the planets upon the earth? Upon the earth means we are staying on the earth, we are living on the earth. So what is the influence of the planets when they are near to the earth? Perigee position and epigee or apogee. This word is apogee. Apogee. Perigee and apogee, these are the two conditions of planets when away from earth, apogee condition. Perigee condition when nearby earth. Similarly, aphelion, perihelion, right? Perihelion is near the sun, perihelion near the sun, and aphelion, we never say apohelion, but aphelion. Aphelion is away from the sun. The position of the planets away from the sun, then what is they are retrograde or not retrograde, that we study about. So these conditions are just studied in case of Vedic astrology, because in Vedic astrology, they are now in case of Western astrology, they are discussing about planets conditions, this perihelion, aphelion, right, or nearby sun or away from sun. And here perihelion, geocentric, this perigee and apogee conditions nearby. So I mean, we are staying on the earth. So let me talk about how the solar system is there and which planets are influencing us. Sun is influencing, every planet is influencing us on the earth. Okay, so this is suppose sun here, this is sun. Let me take here sun, this is sun, right? And nearby sun there is Mercury. This, let me take Mercury here, this is Mercury. Then this is Venus. Let me take here Venus. This is the Venus here. Then comes Earth. Let me take here Earth. This is the Earth on which we are staying here. So from the Earth, what is the influence of Venus upon Earth? Venus or Mercury upon the Earth. Then is the Mars here. This is Mars. Okay. Then Jupiter. Then Jupiter, and finally there is Saturn away from this. So Saturn. These 7 planets. Earth is in between these planets, 3 from this and 3 from there. Okay, so there are 7 planets. Earth is there, 6 planets are here, right? And Venus. So Mars, this is Sun here, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, then Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus we have already taken, right? And then Rahu and Ketu, they are there. So how many planets we have taken? 6 here and 2 more, Saturn and Earth. And Moon is also there. So Moon is nearby Earth here. This is nearby Earth. In this, we can take here, this is Moon here. Right, let me take Moon is nearby Earth, because this is in Earth center or moving around the Earth here. This is Moon here. Right? So there's 7 planets here. Right? So beyond nearby Earth is Moon, Venus, Mercury, Sun, Mars. So upon the Earth we are studying about how the these planets will influence the natives on the Earth, because we are staying on the Earth. Now if I take center, Sun as the centric, then how people are influenced by other planets, how they can be studied through prediction. In case of Western astrology, they just take the heliocentric, everything heliocentric. Okay, solar system, undoubtedly Earth is moving around the Sun, undoubtedly, that is okay, whatever we know about through science, etc. So okay, solar system is moving around the sun. But because Earth is just away from the sun, okay, and just and surrounded by other planets also. So other planets are influencing natives which are on the Earth, of the people on the Earth, which are born on the Earth. So what the influence of the other planets and even on the sun on the Earth, that we have to study about. Geocentric study is there in Indian Vedic astrology. So because of that, prediction is 100% true, and our ancestors, our rishis have given those rules or those laws which are still 100% true, and with the help of those rules we are able to predict that. Even some people say that this is very less time we are having. If we are born again and again number of times, even thousands of years are there, still we are studying astrology and is not complete, okay, because it's so powerful science. It is only super science. We cannot say it's a science only, it's a super science. Because can anybody say about a person's life, the future life, what is going to happen with that person? Nowadays weather, as you know, weather predictions and all those things are happening, but weather prediction can also be done with the help of astrology. Okay, number of people just predict that, or we are just predicting, astrologers are predicting about earthquakes, that in this year earthquake will happen, in this year this kind of event can happen. All those things now weather prediction etc. have come. Okay, so they are predicting, but even then nobody can 100% true regarding that. But in case of Vedic, this Vedic astrology, people can predict 100% true event which is going to happen in one's life. Okay, so this is how Vedic astrology is more powerful in case of predictive astrology. No other astrology, whatever is present in the world, nobody is so influenced by that astrology as the Vedic astrology has influenced them, or they are influenced by Vedic astrology. Vedic astrology is giving 100% true predictions. As I have seen, number of people are just narrating their own stories, that when I came to India, when I went to India, and from there he consulted number of astrologers, and those astrologers, whatever is given or have given to them, and they are 100% true events have happened in their life. Okay, but some people still they are so much religious minded, they are just following their own religion, that our religion has said this and that, so we are not to study this astrology, Indian astrology is just false and this and that. Okay, number of new scientists, or we call them new scientists, because they are not actually, they are not studied the science. Because I have got chemistry, physics as well, I understand that what is that material science, or that is physical part of the science, and the internal what is quality of a product, that's known as chemistry here. So chemistry and physics and all those things are other things, but this science is just a human life, a study of the human life, which cannot be done in this way, or which cannot be predicted. Only you can study the man's medical science, for example. Medical science study about a person's life only, that what disease you are suffering. But medical astrology, if you study, I have seen a number of medical astrologers, and they are just studying astrology. They can predict about the particular organ. We can also predict that this kind of disease a person will suffer with, right, in this particular year, and this and that. So in that year this person can die, and this and okay. So all those events, medical science, every event which is concerned to the person's life can be predicted with the help of Vedic astrology or Jyotish. So Jyotish or Vedic astrology or Indian astrology or Hindu astrology, whatever you call it, but we call it Vedic astrology because this is a sixth part of the Vedas, because Vedas require Vedic astrology or this astrology as a part of it to study the Vedas. Okay, so to study the Vedas, these six parts. What first is Siksha, Siksha, Kalp, Nirukt, and whatever. Six parts are there. So Siksha, Nirukt, Kalp, so Siksha, Kalp, Nirukt. After that, Chanda, Vyakaran, and Jyotish. The six parts of Vedas are there. So Jyotish was the sixth part. So this is Shatang, the sixth part of the Vedas, because that is only Vedic astrology. So Vedic astrology was required for every person in those days, in ancient time, but because of invaders in between or the foreigners' influence in India, they just theorized something, or they gave something which was not true. But even then, because of disturbances in between, people just went away from all these studies, or people just hidden their sources, or had hidden their sources from those people. They are not accessible, and some of the people have store their sources, and they are still predicting those things, but they are not sharing those secrets of their scriptures with others. Okay, and they are predicting with 100% surety, undoubtedly, and those people have predicted about the foreigners as well. I have studied the what do you call, the writings of the foreigners regarding their life study, life predictions from the Indian astrologers, and some of them are so wonderful. I mean, they are talking about their future life, their past life, everything. That a person came to India from a foreign country. I'm not talking about which country, because that will, okay, just disturb the person. Okay, so that person was telling that when the Indian astrologer told her that she is the only daughter of her father's second marriage, and her father has married 3 times. Now her father is staying with his third wife. So this was 100% true. That lady was born from her father's second marriage, and only daughter from second marriage. Now her father's and her relations were cut. She was staying alone with her husband, but her father is staying with his third wife. And this 100% true. No other astrologer in the world can predict like this. So can you imagine that this kind of science can predict a person's life? Okay, the past life or future life, that this person is having this kind of activities, and this kind of predictions are Indian astrologers or Indian astrology can predict. With the help of Indian astrology or Vedic astrology, we can predict a person's life in a very detailed manner. Every part of one's life can be predicted with the help of astrology. Okay, weather astrology, there is weather astrology also. We can predict about weather or seasons and everything, what kind of seasons are going to happen, what kind of rainy season or not rainy season. Okay, what kind of very useful for farmers, because Indian studies is a composite culture. What is composite culture? That culture which includes all kinds of these studies. All these studies were studied. Every activity of one's life was involving decision taken with the help of astrology in the past time. Nowadays it has diminished, but because every person is not having those Soda Sanskar or 16 types of rites which were performing for every person life in those days, right? And nowadays only 1 or 2 events like laying foundation ceremony, right, and rites, funeral rites and birth rites and this and that. Only 2 or 3 activities, or some performing what do you call worshipping or something, puja or something, that is being happening, or 4 or 5 only ceremonies are happening, or okay, those Shodash Sanskar or 16 types of rites or 16 types of activity with the help of astrology were taken by the ancient people. But nowadays it has diminished because of foreign influences. Those people who are leftists, they are not believing in all these things. They have influenced the mind of the people, but they are just they are fooling the people around, because they are not knowing anything. They are not studied astrology. They are not understood what is influence upon their life, because they have not gone through all these things. If they have gone through this, they could not tell all these kind of malicious things to the people's life. But they have just departed some people who are just newly appointed scientists and this and that. They are not studying. They understand that astrology is just fast thing, is a witchcraft, as the Western people say. Some Americans or some people from Western or European countries, they call it as witchcraft, because this is just like a tantra mantra and all those. Witchcraft means the people who are predicting about others' life or future life or present life or future life, past life. How can you say this? You cannot say this. So it is the witchcraft they consider. So Vedic astrology is being taken by those people who are related to the church and some of these churches, not all the churches, because some people are so much influenced nowadays because their life history is being predicted by Indian astrologers. They are just considering that as 100% true science. As one of the person from USA, he came to India and he had just written those 21 questions he asked, and he says that 18 questions of his life have been given 100% true, and those 3 events which are going to happen in near future, they will also be 100% true, will happen 100% true. It is said by him. Okay, so those 21 questions he asked to the Indian astrologer in India. He came to India, and after that he is so much influenced. So those people who are truly human beings, they are understanding, they can just share their influence, their experience with other people. But some of the people, false people, They are just taking their things as superior one. They consider them as superiors, but I'm sorry, this is not superior or superiority or inferior, but this is just a science which is helping the people to come out from their sad things, their mishappenings, etc. If suppose the person comes to know about that this thing is going to happen in the life, something bad or something good, then the person can take precautions. And suddenly, if anything happens in a person's life, he's depressed and suicides, and sometimes commits suicide. So committing suicide can be stopped if a person is already knowing about that bad event which is going to happen in the life, or is known. As one of my students, okay, 20 years back, I'm just because number of events are there, thousands of years, thousands of predictions of mine, which are just coming in my mind. But I can't share all those things, because if I just going to talk about myself, you just say that okay, sir, you are appreciating yourself. No, but one of the students, just I'm sharing this, was sitting before me, and he just told me, sir, talk me something about, okay, and he was having very long hairs and something, so very dark hairs. Dark hairs means very dense hairs, and nothing is was obvious. But when I wrote down about his future life or everything, about his past life, present life, and that person was showing me next day, sir, how do you know that I am having an injury mark in my head? Then I asked him, how do you say like this? Whatever your data is given to me, according to that data, I have casted the horoscope, and after that I have predicted about your future event, past event, and present event. And then he was saying, sir, I was just injured in my childhood, and had some head injury, and those head injuries is still visible, okay, to me, or I just still feel that there is injury, but nobody can see with naked eyes in my head that there is a head injury to me, and this only known to me, as he was telling me. And but how can you say, and you have written down here that you will have some injury in your upper parts of the body. Upper parts means head of the body, or upper parts of the body, and which is very, or which could have happened in your, or which will happen in your life, okay, in the in the past life. So he was telling me that in childhood period, when I was a small child of 9 or 10, then I fell down and I had very serious head injury, and that sign of that head injury is still there, but is not obvious to, not visible to anyone. So this is how every event of person's life is is or can be predicted. So this is a prediction of part of this Vedic astrology. Falit part, Falit Jyotish, predictive astrology, is a basic importance of Vedic astrology. Okay, with the help of this, person's life is fully described, and every person is then influenced by his future activities, past activities, present activities. I have a lot of what you call responses from the people. They say that, sir, you have told me this and that, 100% true, 100% true. How can you say like this and that? So all those things I'm not going to share with you, because let me take, my basic aim is just to tell you the importance of Vedic astrology. How this is important, you have to know about your future life. If you have the time, okay, time or interest in studying Vedic astrology, then go through this. All this, I'll just describe this online. I'm just taking this because some of the people, requested me, sir, come on, online, so that we can understand that what is this and that. Because most the people who studied with me or in my classes, I was teaching them a number of professionals who have gone to USA, UK, New Zealand, Australia, okay, and France as well, Canada, UK, number of students in UK, number of students in USA. All those people were requesting in those days, because in those days I was not having time. Okay, so, and I was, and all those people who are from different religions, they said that in Islam people are not having this interest, and that is not described here. But I have found that number of Muslims, number of people who are following Islam, they are also studying astrology. And if you just see the Jahangir Nama, I just mentioned number of the Mughal emperors, all those people who came to India, who invaded India in those times. Initially they were not understood, they were not believing in this. But Humayun studied astrology. Humayun, he has described about his activities of life, and how he was having this kind of influence.